The most powerful word you will ever speak is the one you never say. While millions exhaust themselves shouting affirmations into the void, the universe waits in perfect stillness for you to discover the shocking truth that destroys everything you thought you knew about manifestation. The cosmic secret that creates instant miracles lives not in your desperate declarations, but in the sacred moment when you stop talking altogether and allow divine intelligence to finally answer. Tonight, we expose the lie that more words create more power, and reveal why silence holds the key to manifestations so profound they will leave you breathless. The universe operates through rhythm, expansion and contraction, sound and silence, speaking and listening. When you understand that manifestation requires both the declaration of your desires and the sacred pause that allows divine intelligence to respond, you transform from someone who begs the cosmos for scraps into someone who commands infinite resources through divine partnership. Silence holds the creative power that most people never access because they fear the quiet spaces where transformation actually occurs. In those moments when you stop talking, stop planning, stop trying to control every detail of your manifestation, divine intelligence finally has the space to work miracles that exceed your human imagination. Every word you speak sets cosmic forces into motion. But those forces require silence to organize, align, and manifest in physical reality. When you speak continuously about your problems, your fears, your doubts, and your desires, you create chaos in the spiritual realm that prevents clear demonstration of what you actually want to experience. The biblical truth reveals this principle perfectly. Be still and know that I am God. This command carries profound manifestation wisdom that most people misunderstand. Stillness creates the consciousness that recognizes divine presence, actively working on your behalf. When you cease the mental chatter that drowns out divine guidance, you finally hear the instructions that lead to swift demonstration of your heart's desires. Consider the extraordinary demonstration of Helen Keller, a woman born deaf and blind who lived trapped in complete isolation until age 7, unable to communicate with the world around her. Despite months of her teacher Anne Sullivan desperately trying every method to break through the barriers of her condition, breakthrough remained elusive. Then came the pivotal moment at a water pump when Sullivan spilled water into Keller's palm while cool liquid flowed over her other hand. But the miracle happened not in that active teaching moment. It occurred in the sacred silence that followed, when Keller stopped struggling to understand and simply allowed divine intelligence to reveal the profound connection between touch and meaning. In that moment of perfect stillness, when she ceased fighting against her limitations and surrendered to receiving, the entire universe of language exploded into her consciousness. Suddenly she understood that everything had a name, that communication was possible, that she was not forever trapped in darkness. Keller's transformation from an isolated child to one of history's most influential speakers and authors illustrates the spiritual principle that breakthroughs occur when you stop forcing and start allowing. Her success emerged from the silence where divine intelligence could work without human interference, organizing perfect understanding in ways her conscious mind could never orchestrate. This same principle governs all manifestation. When you make your declaration with conviction and then enter sacred silence with absolute faith, you create the perfect conditions for divine intelligence to mobilize all resources toward the fulfillment of your spoken word. Divine intelligence communicates through the still small voice that can only be heard when human noise ceases. Every moment you spend in worried conversation about your problems is a moment stolen from the divine guidance that contains your solutions. The answers you seek already exist in the silence, waiting for you to become quiet enough to receive them. Spiritual law operates through perfect rhythm that requires both the inhale of declaration and the exhale of release. When you speak your desires with conviction, you inhale cosmic power. When you rest in silence with faith, you exhale human limitation and allow divine expansion. This breathing pattern of manifestation creates the flow that transforms spiritual substance into physical demonstration. The story of Elijah demonstrates this principle with stunning clarity. When the prophet faced the most challenging moment of his ministry, Divine instruction came not through the earthquake, wind, or fire that captured human attention, but through the still small voice that spoke in perfect silence. Elijah understood that God's most powerful communications arrive in the quiet spaces where human drama cannot interfere with divine revelation. The breakthrough discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming demonstrates this principle with stunning clarity. Fleming had spent years researching bacteria in his laboratory, making observations and running experiments with modest results. But his world-changing discovery came not through intense effort or constant experimentation. It emerged from a moment of profound silence and receptivity. When Fleming returned from vacation to find that a mold had contaminated one of his bacterial cultures, his first instinct could have been frustration or immediate cleanup. Instead, he paused in sacred silence, observing what appeared to be a mistake. In that quiet moment of receptive awareness, divine intelligence revealed what his active mind had been unable to conceive. The contaminating mold was actually killing the bacteria around it. This observation, born from stillness rather than striving, became the foundation for penicillin, a discovery that saved millions of lives and revolutionized medicine forever. Fleming's transformation from a struggling researcher to one of history's most celebrated scientists illustrates that breakthrough innovations emerge when you balance focused effort with receptive silence, allowing infinite intelligence to reveal solutions that transcend human limitation. Silence becomes your gateway to receiving the guidance, opportunities, and resources that enable swift manifestation of everything you desire. When you trust the quiet moments between your declarations, you discover that divine intelligence works most powerfully when human effort steps aside and allows cosmic orchestration to unfold. Now I invite you to participate in the very principle we've been exploring by writing in the comments below. I trust divine timing in sacred silence. When you make this declaration publicly, you activate the law of faith that demonstrates trust in cosmic intelligence. Your written affirmation creates accountability with the universe while surrounding your intention with the collective support of everyone who witnesses your faith. This simple act transforms passive hoping into active demonstration of the consciousness that attracts miraculous results. The power you seek lives in the pause between heartbeats, the space between thoughts, the moment between your question and heaven's answer. Most people fill these sacred spaces with anxious chatter that blocks the very guidance they desperately need. But when you honor the silence as holy ground, where infinite intelligence works miracles, you create partnership with cosmic forces that can deliver results beyond your wildest dreams. Scripture teaches that, in quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. This verse reveals that strength comes not from loud proclamation, but from the quiet confidence that knows your desires are already being fulfilled in divine mind. When you rest in this knowing silence, you demonstrate the faith that moves mountains and transforms impossibilities into inevitabilities. Professional athletes understand this principle intuitively. Before every crucial moment, the penalty kick, the free throw, the championship serve, they enter a zone of complete silence where external noise disappears and divine guidance takes control. In that sacred pause, they access the inner knowing that guides perfect performance. Their greatest achievements emerge from the stillness where human trying surrenders to divine flow. This same silence that creates athletic miracles creates manifestation miracles in every area of life. When you learn to honor the quiet spaces where cosmic intelligence organizes your desires into physical reality, you discover that struggle dissolves and demonstration becomes effortless. The marketplace provides countless examples of breakthrough innovations that emerged from periods of inspired silence. The greatest inventions, artistic creations, and business solutions consistently arise when creative minds stop forcing and start listening for divine inspiration. These moments of receptive stillness allow infinite intelligence to download ideas that transform industries and change the world. Your personal manifestations follow this same pattern. The relationship you desire, the financial abundance you seek, the health you claim, the opportunities you need, all await your willingness to speak with conviction and then rest in sacred silence while divine intelligence arranges perfect demonstration. doubt speaks constantly. Faith rests in knowing silence. When worried thoughts arise about the progress of your manifestations, return immediately to the stillness where you remember that infinite wisdom works tirelessly on your behalf. Every moment spent in this knowing silence accelerates the very demonstrations you seek to experience. The biblical story of Mary demonstrates this principle with breathtaking beauty. When the angel announced her divine calling, she could have responded with endless questions, fears, and human reasoning. Instead, she spoke her acceptance with simple conviction, "Be it unto me according to thy word." Then she entered the sacred silence of complete trust,